Hello, my name is Alex. I'm on my way to the studio to meet with well-known producer David Bottrill for an exclusive interview about Maplerun's new album.
So David, you are in Greece for 2 weeks now?
Almost 3.
Almost 3. How was you staying here?
Fantastic, actually. I've had a really good time. The guys in the band couldn't have been better hosts for me.
So you came here for the new Maplerun album?
I did.
You're at the point in your career which you decide with which artist you're going to work with. What was the elements of the band that convinced you to work with them?
I think when I receive an approach from a band or I find a band, I usually have 2 or 3 criteria that determine whether I would want to work with them or not. First of all, the musicianship and the singing has to be top-notch. So I have to be able to respond when I get their demos. I have to be able to hear it and go, okay, there's quality playing, there's quality singing. The compositions have to also be at a certain level before I'll decide to take a project on. And thirdly, and I think the most important thing is when I'm listening to them, do I start having any ideas? Do I feel like I have something to contribute to the music? If I don't, I generally don't take the project because I'm not the right guy to do it. If I can't think of how I could either improve the songs or make them sound better or whatever it is that I could contribute, if I don't have any ideas, then I'm the wrong guy for the job. In this particular instance, these guys sent me their demos, and immediately I started thinking of, well, this is what I would change, or here I would add this chord or move this around or structurally change this or melodically change it. So the ideas were coming right away as soon as I started listening. That sort of turned me on and said, okay, this is, I feel like I can do something with this.
Did you make many changes in the songs and why?
I don't know that, I made changes, of course, and I made changes to every song. Depending on the one, it was either foundational or sometimes just detail. But I find that, when bands come to me with songs, they're often like 80-90% there. Getting to that 100%, that's kind of the hardest part. And sometimes it takes just a little subtle change, a little chord change here and there. Bands tend to get into a groove on things, and they tend to repeat, to go around the same thing. I'll throw in an extra little chord here and there that actually works and makes the melody have a different relationship. And so that takes it to a slightly different place before it then busts into a pre-chorus or a chorus. Sometimes they didn't have choruses I thought were quite good enough, so we rewrote some choruses. Same thing with bridges and pre-choruses. The verses were all pretty much solved. So I tended to work within the parameters of the songs as they were, see how each section either could be improved or if we needed a new section.
How was the recording process here in the studio?
Really tight, actually. I mean, we had some problems, but you have problems on every session. I kind of pushed these guys a little bit in getting some more gear in than they're used to. As you could tell with all the amplifiers out there, we ganged up a lot of things, and I like to do that because I love to be able to blend tones. So if you have a guitar sound that's normally just a Mesa Boogie triple rectifier or a Marshall JCM 900, what do they like together? What do they like with an orange? What do they like with a Rivera as well? And what kind of balance in there? You can't do that unless you have them all set up. And I've got a little bit of gear that I brought with me that you can use to blend the sounds to get all the amplifiers going all at the same time. You just have to press a few buttons. It also kind of takes away, boring subject, but it takes away a lot of the ground buzzes and all the noises. But, you're able to essentially carve out a new tone for a band for every song. And for every band that I work with, I do the same sort of thing and try to develop a unique sound of their own as to how they play. And you can only do that when you have enough options. As far as the drums went, Joe's a great player, so it just went without saying. He came in and we set up, and I think we had him done in 3 or 4 days. He worked real hard. We pushed him real hard, but he did a great job. And same with all the band, Moor, and the whole bunch. They all played really well.
So now you're done. You can say that you're satisfied.
I'm satisfied. We're done the production of it and we're done the recording of it. There's still the mixing to go. But I'm very happy. You heard all the rough mixes earlier today, and they're pretty exciting. Nick's vocal performances on all the songs. He's got that great character in his voice that he's kind of dig stuff up from the 90s, but also really modern ways of phrasing things too. I mean, you know, if you want to look from him in the pop world, you know, Sia does the same kind of thing. She twists words and moves them around. So, you know, he's really kind of pushing the boundaries of what you can sing and how you can sing to, you know, a new level, I think.
Now that the music industry changes, where do you think they can go with that album?
You know what? I think the limits are endless, actually, with where you can go, because these days you can reach people worldwide. It's harder, and it's harder to fight through a lot of the things that are, you know, on the internet now. So many people, we used to have filters in record companies. We used to have filters in A&R people and management. Now it just seems like you can throw anything out there you like, and it's harder to find the gemstones in there. But I'm sure these guys will be able to poke through, and you know, there's lots of places in Europe. Germany, they'll love them in Germany. You know, they've already done work there. You know, in the UK, they've got some friends over there that they do and can play for over there. So I think that there's all kinds of places that they'll be welcomed.
You are more old-fashioned in the way you record.
I'm sorry, I'm what?
You're kind of old-fashioned when the way you record
Oh, am I?
with the microphones and amps.
Oh, microphones.
Of
Yeah,
course.
that's really old-fashioned.
There's a movie from Stephen Wilson from Porcupine Tree, in which there are several scenes that he smashes iPods. It's clearly a statement.
Sure.
What's your opinion about this?
You know what? I tend to embrace any technology that I find enhances creativity. If it gets in the way, then either you need to find a way to make it more transparent or smash the iPod, one of the two. I think there's all kinds of tools, and you know what? Modern tools are great for writing, and I find that a lot of the new things that are available for musicians to work and write with are really great if they are easy to use and help people create new things. If they don't, if they're just a toy and a distraction, then, you know, for certain people it's not really worthwhile for them to explore. But if you find something that, you know, it makes you think of music in a different way, or create in a way that you hadn't thought of before, and to come up with something new, I think that's a positive.
I saw with the guys here, the band from Greece you've never heard of before. Did you say you would work again with them?
With Maplerun?
Yeah.
Of course. Yeah, I think they're great. I think they're really creative. I think they write very interesting things. The interplay between the two guitars, the way the two guitars work, where kind of Nick is the power and Orestis is the color. You know, there's a great balance in what they do. Songwriting, they're really great at writing classic feeling songs without being too dated. So yeah, I mean, I think that if we get a chance, we should do it again and then step it up even further.
Thank you for your time.
You're welcome. Orestis.